There was a dense forest where a proud bull named Bhura lived. He was so arrogant about his strength that he began to consider himself the king of the jungle. Every day, he would challenge a different animal to a race, and whoever lost would have to serve him for life. Gradually, he enslaved many innocent animals of the forest. In the same forest lived a stag, male deer, with his young son. His wife had passed away during childbirth, so he raised his son alone with great love and care. One day, the young deer asked his father sadly, "Father, my rabbit friends who used to play with me are no longer seen in the forest. Do you know where they've gone?" The stag sighed deeply and replied in a sorrowful tone, "Son, the arrogant bull defeated them in his races and made them his slaves. Now they cannot roam freely in the forest without his permission." Tears welled up in the young deer's eyes. "But father, why can't we help them?" Looking into his son's eyes and smiling, the stag said, "Son, it is our duty to help our friends. Now this injustice must end." The next day, the stag went to the bull and challenged him. "You're very proud of your strength, but today, I will defeat you. If I win, you must free all the animals." The bull laughed loudly. "And if you lose, you will be my slave forever." The race began. But when the bull realized he was about to lose, he attacked the stag cruelly with his horns. The injured stag fell to the ground, covered in blood. All the animals ran to save him, but it was too late. As the stag took his final breath, he looked at his son with tears in his eyes. The light slowly faded from his gaze, and silence engulfed the jungle. The young deer clung to his father's lifeless body and cried uncontrollably. His sobs shook the hearts of every creature in the forest, but out of fear, no one dared to stand up to the bull. For days, the forest remained silent and grim. The young deer's world had been shattered. He cried day and night, blaming himself for his father's death. But then, a tiny ant came to him and gently wiped his tears. She said, "Stop crying now. Your father sacrificed his life for us. Now you must live with courage." The young deer replied hopelessly, "I have no desire to live. I only want revenge on the bull, even if it costs me my life." The ant smiled and said, "Winning doesn't always require strength. Sometimes wisdom and strategy can also win battles." The next day, the little ant went to the bull and challenged him. The bull laughed, "A tiny ant! You have no idea how powerful I am." The ant confidently replied, "It's not about strength, it's about courage." The race began. All the animals watched, filled with fear. But just then, an elephant blew his trunk powerfully, and the ant, sitting on a leaf, soared through the air. In a moment, she reached the end of the race. By the time the bull arrived, the ant had already won. Enraged, the bull ran to crush the ant. But his horns got stuck in a tree. The more he struggled, the more trapped he became. His agony was terrifying. In the end, he died right there. Thus, fear and injustice came to an end in the forest. The fire of revenge in the young deer's heart faded. He smiled through his tears, cherishing his father's memory. The forest was once again filled with joy, and all the animals lived freely and happily. Moral of the story: no matter how powerful a tyrant is, their cruelty always comes to an end, sooner or later.